We put our men and canine at risk in order to try to make a quicker approach to the vehicle in case life-saving measures could be utilized.
But it was too late. By the time deputies cornered a suspect on the Westbank Expressway, then got to him, he was already dead. Well, tonight we're still waiting for information about what led up to the chase and the suspect who took his life. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Devin Bartolotta. This situation lasted for hours. We brought it live to you throughout our evening newscasts.
Whitney Miller has a recap of what she saw out there and the unanswered questions we still have.
All of this happening in the midst of rush hour traffic right here at the Westbank Expressway. We were on the scene as multiple law enforcement agencies surrounded a silver pickup truck, a man presumed to be armed inside.
We could see the individual moving inside it. We activated our drone team and SWAT team.
Jefferson Parish Sheriff Joe Lopinto says all of this began as a pursuit for a man who was wanted for kidnapping.
We're a suspect who was wanted for a simple kidnapping, a burglary, and a simple criminal damage from a few days ago. Attempted to make a traffic stop in the vehicle and a pursuit ensued.
Meanwhile, cars were stopped on either side of Manhattan, a major intersection of the Westbank Expressway.
They're backed up past Maplewood and all that, coming through the tunnel. So the traffic is just absolutely freaking terrible.
The man's pickup blocked in by SWAT vehicles and cruisers on the ramp.
They used the distractionary devices, a flashbang, to make their initial approach and cut the seatbelt off.
We watched as a canine and SWAT members in tactical gear approached the vehicle.
How delicate of a situation is this when we have people trying to use like the park here and drivers trying to get around?
We cordoned off a big area knowing that the suspect had a gun. We heard the gunshot itself. We couldn't see inside, but the visual that we had was he was still moving at that period of time. Looks like it, from my view, it looks like a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
Lopinto says the man inside was dead. Driver seemingly left in the dark, checking online for updates about what was going on.
It's sad, to go that way, but not over something, he could have pulled over. But I mean, it's just how people go about these days. They take chances they shouldn't have taken.
On the West Bank, Whitney Miller, Eyewitness News.
JPSO has not released the identity of the man in question. We normally do not get a close look at interactions between deputies and suspects like this. Today we were able to see how a situation like this unfolds. One thing we noticed was a canine unit being released and going into the truck. We later learned that dog was trained with the SWAT team and he was the one that pulled the man out. Canines are generally used to avoid putting human officers in uncertain situations.
Well, there's new